what do you do before you start writing? In other words, what do you do to get in the groove so that you can have a good writing session? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about some tried and true writing rituals to help you write your best. This video is brought to you by my book, 150 Self-Publishing Questions Answered, the book for writers wanting to know the A to Z of writing, publishing, and book marketing. It'll give you clarity, confidence, and teach you how to turn your imagination into income. Level up your author business today by visiting authorlevelup.com/150. The book is available in ebook, paperback, and audio, narrated by me. That's authorlevelup.com/150. What's up, guys? Michael Aran here with Author Level Up, helping you master the craft of writing. And if you're new here, consider subscribing and click that little bell, ding, 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 to get notifications every time I have a new writing video. And in this writing video, we're talking about writing rituals. What are the tried and true rituals that writers all over the world use to help them get into the groove to write their very best? So in this video, I'm going to offer some tried and true rituals, as well as talk about my own personal method. So here's my routine. I wake up about 5 o'clock in the morning during the weekdays. And I do that because everyone in my house is asleep. It's very quiet, and I just tend to be a morning person. So I wake up in the morning, I come downstairs, and I make tea. I drink a lot of tea, so tea is my my muse, so to speak. So I make some tea, and I sit in my office, and I meditate for about 5 minutes. I just sit down, and I clear my mind, and I ask myself, where was I in my current work in progress? All right, so I just sit down, I let my mind drift, and I just try to clear out all those thoughts, and if I do think any thoughts, I try to make them as positive as possible. And once the timer on my phone goes off, rings after 5 minutes, open up my eyes, and then I've got a little essential oil diffuser, so I will put some few drops of essential oils into the diffuser, turn it on, and then it kind of lights up a little bit. So I'll turn the lights down low in my studio, and then I'll play music. So I like to listen to jazz when I write. It just helps me expand my mind, helps me be more creative, and then I'm off to the races. And so that's my writing ritual. I do that almost every time because I find that the consistency really helps me kind of get into the mood, and it kind of, my brain knows, okay, I've just meditated, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm drinking tea, I'm listening to jazz, all right, it's time to be creative. And that helps me stay creative, and it helps me boost my word counts, and it's worked really well for me. Now, what are some other tips? Now, the great thing about doing this YouTube channel is that I've got tons of comments and videos on my channel, and there have been a lot of people that have recommended really great things. And so I'd like to share some things that people in my community have recommended as things that they do for writing rituals to help them be more productive. First off, drink coffee. Coffee is the alternative to tea. It's also what I like to call the patron saint of writers. I'm a tea guy, but I know a lot of you drink coffee. That's always a great way to wake up and to help you focus a little bit. You know, you can go overboard, but coffee is a great way and a great part of your writing ritual, should you choose to make it a part of it. The next tip, which I think is a really practical tip, is to make sure that you never end a writing session at the end of a chapter. So let's say you're writing your book, you're coming down to the end of the wire, and you finish chapter 17. The natural inclination is just to leave at chapter 17, right? Just to stop writing and go do what you need to do. Well, what someone in my community recommended is don't stop at the end of chapter 17, write a couple of sentences into chapter 18 and stop mid-sentence. That way, when you come down to your next writing session, it makes it easier because the first thing you need to do is complete the sentence. And that makes it easier to pick up and keep going. It's kind of weird, right? Why would you stop a writing session mid-sentence? But psychologically, it's actually a really good idea, and it might work wonders for you. My next tip, and this is another practical tip, is once you're finished writing, review what you wrote for the day, just real quick, like 2 minutes. Just glance over it, just make sure you understand what you wrote, and then spend about another minute or two trying to figure out what's next. So if your character's on the beach, what's the next scene that is going to come next? And I find that that also helps because if you know what you're going to write the next time you sit down, that can also be very, very helpful for you because it makes it easier to get started. Whereas sometimes it can be hard if you're just sitting down and staring at the blank page. The next tip is kind of a weird one. If that is, dress up. If you normally write in pajamas, put on, you don't have to wear your Sunday best, but, wear something nice when you sit down to write. I know that it sounds weird, but it goes back to the whole mantra of if you look good, you feel good, and you tend to write better. So dressing up for your writing sessions can also be a very interesting productivity hack. And finally, my final tip, which is probably the best tip of the entire video. No, actually, this might be the best tip on my YouTube channel ever. You ready for it? All right, so if you want to bust out a writing ritual that's going to kick some serious butt, here's what you do. You just break out the power morpher. At the end of the day, we're the writers. The manuscripts, they have to submit to our will, right? So if you're struggling in your writing session, or if you want to make sure that when you sit down, you're going to have the best writing session ever, just bust out the power morpher, get into beast mode, whatever it is that you need to do, and it will help.
It's morphin' time. Thesaurus!
I hope you guys enjoyed the tips in this video. And my next video is a video that I did a while back about how I managed to do so much. I managed to write a lot of books while raising a family, attending law school classes in the evenings, and working a full-time job. And I get questions all the time about how I do that. So if you're interested, when the video comes up on the end screen, click it, and I'll see you there.
Perfect.